What is going on, guys? Good evening. Good evening. It's another night of building. I just got back from getting ice cream with the family. I'm going to work on building a new, or part of my new miter, my new table saw station. Right now, I have a Dewalt 8 1/4, and I've upgraded to a Dewalt 10-inch. Because I wanted to have full capacity to build and make anything whatsoever. So I'm going to do a new workbench. I'm going to make a new miter saw. Table saw stand to where it's going to be separated from the rest of the bench, but I can also connect it. So this is up here and it's playing out. So guys, hope you guys enjoy this build. I'm gonna see how much I can get through tonight. I'm gonna try to use as much scrap as I have left remaining. And we're gonna take it from there. So hopefully I can get through this tonight and it won't be too late before I go to bed. All right, let's get this on the road. And by the way, material-wise, guys, I'm using 2x4. I have a planner in the back of my truck. I just don't have anywhere to really put it and kind of use. I do, but I don't. I'm going to be using my 2x4, some leftover scrap, 3/4, and I'm just going to be piecing this together. This is one of those projects where you're going to see in this video, I'm going to put something together, I'm going to step back and look at it, and I'm visualizing what I'm doing. As I'm doing that, I'm literally visualizing what I want it to look like. So that's what's going to be going on right here tonight. So let's have some fun, let's get to building, and as I look back here, I look at all the exotics I have up here, and I'm eventually going to get to the cutting board and making a cutting board. I just gotta find the time to do so, or finish one project and start the next. Anyway, yeah. So with that being said, let's get this build started. Enjoy the video, guys. Deuces.
Alright guys, so this is pretty much me going through all the cuts. I don't have a joiner, so I am ripping down wood to get it ready. I'm trying to make sure I cut it to the right size of the new saw, because the last thing I want to do is make something and then I didn't actually measure the saw and I just kind of estimated. So let's see my fiance coming out checking on me, make sure I'm not shooting myself in the foot with a nail gun or something. So I used a 4-foot level to act as my jointer, whatever you want to have it, I can't pronounce it correctly, to try to keep it as flat as possible. And some parts of it were, some parts were not, but it worked out pretty good all in all. And this is just me putting the base of it together, because I want to make sure that's a level more than anything else. So enjoy this, and we'll check back in a little bit. Now guys, this is my first time using these 90-degree alignment squares, if you will, where it's supposed to make sure that everything is 90 degrees when you put on sides, especially when using pocket screws, because things tend to shift when you try to screw it down. So it's my first time using it, and I'm trying to make sure everything is centered. Well, the base of it is centered, and as even as I possibly could. So, and you will see me guys again, as all my videos, you'll see me step back and look and stare and look and stare, talk to myself to try to make sure everything is square. So Again, I'm using these squares in there. I don't know, it's new. I've never used them before, so some of that is kind of like me just getting used to using something new and trying to make it work. So it eventually ended up working out, getting it together. This is pretty much going to be putting the casters on. I picked these up from Home Depot. They actually had some pretty decent ones, and I didn't see these online anywhere. So they're made to where you can lock the wheel from pivoting, and you can actually lock the wheel from rolling. So that's actually pretty dope. So I picked these up from, I think they were like 12, 13 bucks. So I got 8 of them. Don't ask why. I could have went a cheaper route, but yeah, this is me just showing you guys what they are. Like you care, probably not. Now I did not use the screws that came with it. Actually, no screws came with them, but I didn't use your regular screws. I used some locking nuts, or some nuts that I found in Home Depot in the screw section. They were about 1 inch long, and they had like the washer on the end cap of it. I forgot what you call them, but I used those instead of using just regular screws because I wanted to make sure this was as sturdy as possible. And this is when funny thing. So as I'm putting this together, I'm starting to question myself. But anywho, this is a router that I had. It's a skilled router, and I was like, you know what, instead of having to go and buy one and do it, I'm just going to take this and make it work for what I have. Now, mind you, when I did this cut, I made a big mistake because I mismeasured. And when I put it on there, and you'll see, when I put it on there, it didn't fit how I initially planned it to fit. I put it up there and I measured, like, okay, it's going to be this wide because I wanted it to go around the rails. And yeah, it didn't work how it should have. So anyway, but I blame her. I wanted to make sure everything was right, so cutting up the pieces to frame it out, put it on there. And this is probably right when I started to realize that I made a mistake, and I'm trying to figure out how to fix it and how to make it work. Cause I'm like, I cut it too short. I mean, not as wide as I wanted to cut it. And yeah, so this, I'm making it work. So it is what it is. Now, and the reason why I wanted to use this one, because one, it already had everything already done. It already had everything built into it. It had a switch already done. I didn't have to go buy a switch and buy all that kind of stuff. So that's why I wanted to use this, because it was there and available. She's checking my work. She's telling me how stupid I am for not measuring right and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so, and as you see, as I'm kind of looking, when you see I'm stepping back and looking at it a lot, like extra lot, it's because I'm realizing that it's tall. It's like taller than I think I want it to be. So it was somewhere along these lines I started kind of like questioning, like, do I like it? Do I not like it? Do I like it? Do I not like it? Yeah, and I just keep kind of going back and forth, but I just kind of keep the process going. Just kind of getting everything put together for the router table. And the reason why I put it on the side with the on this side is because I actually want to be able to use the fence from my table saw for the router. And my thought process, like, hey, if I need to use a fence to make sure everything is straight, I can just set the fence, roll it out, lock it down. It's not going anywhere. That's my thought process. We'll see if it actually works that way, but we'll see. You see me measuring it, looking at it again, like, man, this is tall. I don't know. Not sure, but I kept going, kept building, kept putting stuff together, kept making it work. So you eventually see me make a big adjustment. So with these guys, like everyone has a different way of making their rails or their drawers for their drawers. Their, what do you call it? Crap. Their drawer slides, right? And some people like to go and buy them and do the what do you call them? Soft close, all that kind of stuff. The last couple ones I've done, I've just done a DIY one where I take and I rip down 1-inch strips, however deep the drawer is going to be, and I use those as like a glide, if you will. And then from there, I just kind of make my boxes, and I sit the box on top because it's a little bit wider than the box, and it kind of slides in there really smooth, very easily, and it's holding decent. I mean, it's not holding hundreds of pounds, it's holding like maybe 10 pounds. And I use wood glue and nail gun to kind of make sure that it's all set in place. So that's how I do mine. Everyone is different. Everyone has their own way of doing things. Again, it's in my garage, so I'm not doing it for a contest. It's not for a client, so that's why I do it this way. So right here, you see me just putting the box together, kind of going through it. And then it was at this moment, I kind of kept looking at it. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to make some adjustments. So I decided to cut out 3 inches from it. You got my track saw, ripped it down 3 inches to make sure the height-wise had to work. So I didn't want to start using it and then actually get, you know what, this is too tall. And now I can't change it. I mean, I can, but it's more of a hassle. So like, let me just go ahead and knock it out now, get it out the way. So that way it's all said and done and I don't have to worry about doing anything down the line. As you guys see, you see the little strips in there. Those are like my guide rails for my drawers. So that's what it is. And as you see, again, I'm just ripping it down, taking out 3 inches. And after I did this and put it back together, it was actually the perfect height. Like, it's so much better. And I'm glad I did it. Glad I did it now instead of later, because it would have been just, yeah, anyway. So now that I got everything kind of set in place, I'm just kind of adding some kind of reinforcement because I plan on adding an extension to that side of the miter saw cart. So where it's like a pop-up, it can add 12 inches when I am cutting certain things. Now I am building a workbench after this that's gonna kind of explain a lot of other stuff I've got going on. But right now, moving on to doing the drawers, knock those out. And I had picked up this little tool off Amazon for like $10 for drawer handles. It makes it so much easier to center them, make sure they're all the same. Because once you set this in place, everything sits perfectly. Now this is where I got really good camera skills because I decided to have my back toward the camera. So you can't really see what I'm doing. You just have to assume what I'm doing is correct. And yeah. So again, picked this up off Amazon. It's really nice, really handy. And I pretty much just repeat it over and over again. Set it, repeat, set, repeat, set, repeat. I mean, drill, repeat, drill, repeat, drill, repeat. So it makes it super easy for me. Don't have to worry about not having things aligned, not having things be centered. Works perfectly. So again, guys, it's one of those, let's see how it goes. Let's see what I can figure out here. As I'm going through this and trying to make it all make sense, it is getting sometimes where I'm like, this bottom cabinet gets on my nerves, and I could not figure out how to put the door handle on here or to put the door on here. So I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to make it into another drawer. So that worked out. So I'm going to put the extension on here to make it all work out. It actually went on pretty easily, pretty smoothly. I realized that some pieces of it were a little too long a little bit later. I had to trim some things off. But once I got it on here, got it all lined up, it was just, perfect. I kind of left it, I didn't stain that drawer because I just like that contrast to break it up a little bit. So got it all set, and this is when I realized, like, yeah, it's a little bit too long. Let's take some off because it had a little bit of a sag to it. So I just trimmed off, I think, like 4 or 5 inches. So it's like a little 12-inch extension that pops up and down. Makes it pretty smooth, pretty easy. And once I finished that, it was nice. I had a little issue with the spring, but it worked out pretty well. So, but here it is. This is my mobile cart for my Dewalt table saw. I still have to finish the little storage space for the router bits that goes over there, and the front face for that router table. pull out drawers, and I'll organize those at some point, but just more storage. Keeps everything somewhat organized. Keep it in one spot. I got a couple empty ones, saw blades down there, and I think this one is still empty, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's thin. Over here I have my track saw and the router fence that came with it, so I gotta figure that out. It's still kind of sticky, but there it is, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed. Give me some likes, give me some shares. Appreciate it. Again, I just like to build stuff, and it's pretty awesome sometimes when I see it after the finished product. It just makes you feel very proud of what you built. So again, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you appreciate it. And again, like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff, guys. Talk to you all later. Bye.